Hi, everybody. Mischa here with Word of the Day, and there it is. Maelstrom. What does this noun, maelstrom, mean? Well, literally, it's a whirlpool that can occur in the sea or it can occur, and often does, in rivers. A whirlpool that will suck things down into it, right? And sometimes they're huge and incredibly dangerous, and sometimes they're very small. We also use this word maelstrom figuratively to describe situations that are confusing, upsetting, and chaotic. Okay, now, where does it come from? It comes from early modern Dutch, and it appears for the very first time in English in 1561 in a travelogue called The Decades of the New World by Eden. It's H. Eden, but it's actually the man's name is actually Richard Eden, and he is describing the perilous seas and oceans that he is traveling, and he's describing a very particular whirlpool, an incredibly dangerous one off the coast of Norway, and it does have a name. It's a I'm going to try to say it correctly, Maelstrom. And when he writes it in his travelogue, Maelstrom becomes Maelstrom. Okay, now we use it in this literal sense until about the 1800s or so, we are using it figuratively. It shows up in Blackwood's magazine, referring to someone who's in a maelstrom of revolutionary passion. That magazine was so right wing it actually went by the name of MAGA magazine, I guess. And it's very easy to use today. It really hit it big in 1841 because that was when Edgar Allan Poe wrote the story Descent into the Maelstrom. And by the way, if you want to improve your vocabulary fast, read Edgar Allan Poe. So, how can we use this word maelstrom today? Very easy. Let me use it first in a figurative sentence. Okay, the economic and political chaos, the economic political maelstrom of the first 2.5 decades of the 21st century have been very hard on both the planet and the inhabitants of the planet. And how about this? Here's a second one that's also figurative. Uh, F. Scott Fitzgerald, the great American writer, had a wife named Zelda who was a rich, spoiled party girl and alcoholic, but she also descended into the maelstrom of insanity and ended up being in an institution for the rest of really most of her life, half her life, anyhow. And finally, my own personal maelstrom, and this one's literal. I used to canoe a lot, and I once fell out of a canoe and got caught in a maelstrom. And just so that you know, if this ever happens to you, don't try to fight your way to the top. You swim down, and it'll pop you right out on the side. Okay, so that's the word of the day, maelstrom. Use it in the comments below, and I'll see you later. Remember, you guys, if you're going to buy books, don't buy from the big boys. Go to independent booksellers and buy books like, oh, this one by F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Great Gatsby, his most famous book. Or how about a book like this, The Complete Stories of Edgar Allan Poe, Descent to the Maelstrom. Okay, remember, you can do this by going to bookshop.org/shop/word of the day. And let's support independent booksellers.